Good morning, students. Today we'll start with chapter number 6, that is market. Now, before starting with the chapter, let us understand what is market. Now, in simple terms, if I say, so market is a place where we buy our goods and services in exchange of some money, or we can say that we buy some goods and services and we pay a price for it, right? So, according to Professor Samuel, market is the functional system where the buyers and sellers contact each other to decide the price and the quantity of goods or services. That is, it is a functional system where the buyers and sellers, they contact each other. The person who wants to buy the goods and the person who wants to sell the goods, they contact each other in market and they decide the price and the quantity of goods or services, means what quantity they want, at what price they is to be sold. The system through which the buyers and sellers get in contact with each other directly or indirectly for the sale or purchase of goods or services, that is called market. Characteristics of market. Now, when we define markets, it has some characteristics like numerous sellers and buyers, goods and services, contact, means how do they contact each other, right? Price and information about the market situation. Let us understand them in detail. First, numerous sellers and buyers. Numerous means there are many sellers and buyers. Now, suppose if I am manufacturing any good, right? So, I need a buyer for selling that particular product, right? So, it is mandatory to have a buyer and seller of goods and services in the market. Now, the purposeful exchange made through them for goods or services is the process of purchase and sale. And what does it do? In this process, it allows the seller to gain maximum profit, and the buyers, what do they get? They get the maximum satisfaction from purchasing the goods or product. Second is goods and services. Now, goods we are selling, but apart from it, nowadays services also are sold, right? So, goods and services. Now, these goods and services, they should be available as per the demand and necessity in the market, or as per the demand and necessity of the customers, we can say, right? Now, suppose if I want something or I want any product and I go to a shop and ask for that particular product, if it is not available, what I will do? I will search for a substitute product. That okay, this particular brand it is not there, give me for some other brand, right? So these goods and services, they should be available as per the demand and necessity. Now, to gain maximum profit, what the producers and sellers are doing, they provide these goods in various types and various forms to attract the customers. They want customers to buy their product, so they are trying different colors and different ways they try to attract the customers or buyers towards them, and they try to give the maximum satisfaction to them. Otherwise, next time why will the customer buy their product only if they are not satisfied with the product or their services? Then third one is contact. Now, contact means they come in contact via some means. Means how do they come in contact? Market is a place, right? So, it can be with different, like it can be through tele-shopping, it can be through online shopping, which is craze nowadays, right? Online shopping. People are very fond of this nowadays. Now, tele-shopping means where buyers themselves order the services or products through telephone. Okay? And second is the online shopping. So, here the buyers order the services or products which they select through the websites or internets. Very many websites we have like Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon. Okay? Plenty of websites are there for online shopping. And this you must be doing, so you are very aware about it, all these online shopping sites. So, by way of this tele-shopping and online shopping, the buyers and sellers, they come in contact. Don't meet face to face each other, but they come in contact for buying and selling. Next comes is the price. Now price of the product, it must be decided in the market, at what price the good is to be sold, at what price the good is demanded. If we are keeping the price less, how much quantity will be demanded? If we are keeping the price high, then how much quantity will be demanded, right? So the price of product and services, it depends on the demand made by the buyers and the ability of the producer and sellers to supply them. Information about the market situation. Now it is important that the buyers and sellers, they have the information about the current market situation, right? So they can get the decisions regarding the production or the distribution and purchase can be taken at the time of recession, inflation, natural and man-made calamities. Now when this share market was going down during this lockdown time, right? So what people are doing, they're investing their money in gold, right? So the gold prices, it rise very fast, and now again the people, they are shifting their money towards share markets. Again what happening, the price of gold is decreasing, or we can say it is reducing. So these are the few characteristics of market. Now classification of market. Classification of market means the market is classified on the basis of different things, like on the basis of location, on the basis of the quantity supplied, or on the basis of the competition, right? So market can be classified in many ways as per the location, time, product, quantity of product, then the competition. So here we will study about 3 types, that is market based on location, market based on quantity, and market based on competition. Now first one, market based on location. Here what happens, location means according to the geographical area or according to the geographical location, the market is classified. Now according to location, it is classified in 4 types, like local market, regional market, national market, and international market. Now local market, it is we can say where the local goods are sold in our local market, or we can say that the market where the products and services are produced and sold at the same place, right? Regional, or we can say local market, and they are limited to that particular respective city or village where they are produced and sold. For example, the market for clay utensils. Second comes regional market. Now regional market means this type of selling of the product and services, it is limited to a particular region or a state. So it is called a regional market, and it means that the diverse markets in a state, it comes under the category of regional market. For example, you can take our state only, like Gujarat. So in Gujarat, the markets in Ahmedabad and Vadodara, so what are they? They are regional markets, like Ghari of Surat, regional films, regional books. Okay, so that is called a regional market. It is limited to a particular region or a state, we can say. Then comes the national market. National market means it's about a nation we are talking about. Now when the products and services, they are purchased and sold throughout the country, like in India. So if any product is there, it is sold throughout the country, all over, anywhere in the country you can get that particular product, right? So then this market, we can call it as national market, and this market is spread throughout various states of nation, or different states of nation. For example, we can say dairy products, sari market, or Hindi novels. Now for example, if I am staying in Gujarat and I want to purchase a Rajasthani type of sari, right? So can I purchase? Yes, definitely, because it is available in everywhere in the India, we can say, right? Then comes international market. So international market is also known as global market, right? Because it covers many nations, we can say, or many countries. Now this market, it is extended to various countries of the world, And here the exchange between two countries, we know the term what it is used, right? It is import and export. Import and export word is used for the term when two countries they exchange the goods, right? So here the sale and purchase in this market, it is generally referred as import and export. For example, we can say like mobile phones and English novels, right? We always go for an international brand whenever we want to purchase a mobile phone. Now why do we do this? Because of the new invention or better transportation and communication facilities, cold storage facilities, right? Now there can be a change in the classification based on location and geographical area. Now comes the market based on quantity. Now here the word itself suggests that according to the quantity we are classifying the market, right? Sometimes we use the word, right? Okay, I will purchase this thing from the wholesale market. Why we will purchase it from the wholesale market? Because we will get it at a cheaper rate, right? There you have to buy in bulk, but you get the product at cheaper rate. Retail market, where you can buy 1 or 2 units of any product, that is retail market. So here market is classified according to the quantity. Two main types, that is wholesale market and retail market. In Ahmedabad, where do we have this wholesale market? Kalapur, right? Now here wholesale market, what happens? The sales and purchase of items is done on a large scale, that is in bulk we purchase the goods. And the wholesale traders buy the wholesale goods from the market, and what do? They sell it to the retail traders. So this way the retail traders, they become the buyers for the wholesale traders, right? For example, wholesale grain market and retail market. So retail market, that is a small scale the sales and purchase, that is 1 to quantity if you want to purchase, so we go for the retail shopping. So here the retail traders, they become an important link and they provide the goods and services to the customers. And the retail traders, they buy the goods and services large scale and then they sell to the customers on a smaller scale, on a retail scale we can say. So according to the demand and needs of the customers, right? So wholesale market, that is there usually we go for buying the goods at a cheap rate or less rate and the quantity should be more. And retail market, that is less quantity when we want to purchase, so that is from the retail market we purchase. And third one is the market based on competition. It's according to the competition in the market is classified. The classification of market, the third type. So market is classified according to the type of competition in the market. So main two types it is divided, that is imperfect competition and perfect competition. Imperfect competition and perfect competition. Now here the number of sellers and buyers, they play a very important role, right? And imperfect competition, further it gets divided in 3 types, that is monopoly, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. This all things we will study in detail with examples. So according to competition, market is based on 2 types, that is perfect competition and imperfect competition. Imperfect competition further gets divided in monopoly, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Now first comes perfect competition. Now perfect competition, what do you mean by perfect competition? Let us see the definition first, that is according to Robinson, perfect competition exists where the demand of product of the producer totally depends on its price. That is, here the perfect competition, we can say that whenever the quantity demanded, it purely depends on the price of the product. So that is called a perfect competition. Okay. One more definition we can say, that is perfect competition is a market system where there are many firms that sell identical products. Identical products, same means same type of products they sell. There are many firms which sell same type of products, with no firm large enough that can influence the market price. And any firm is not so large enough that it can influence the price of that particular product in the market. So that is called a perfect competition. Means whichever firms are there, they have to take the price which is prevailing in the market. If they will reduce the price, then chances are there that more customers may come to them, but their profit margin will be reduced. And they cannot increase the price at any cost, because there are plenty of sellers who are selling the same type of product at less price than them, right? So any of the firm, they cannot increase their price. So it totally depends on the price. Now this type of market, it is rarely observed in the market. Why? Because the term of establishing perfect competition, they are not met that easily. Now some characteristics of perfect competition. First one, that is numerous buyers and sellers. Now numerous buyers and sellers, now as we all know that for selling a product, we need a buyer, we need a seller, right? So the market, this type of market, it has a very large number of buyers and sellers, and a single seller, it does not affect the market on a large scale, we can say, right? So a single seller, it's very small part of the market. He cannot influence the market, or he cannot control or monopolize the whole market, we can say, or he cannot either influence the price. For example, in a wheat farm, if any increase or decrease in production of a single farmer is there, so will it affect the total production of the wheat? No, because there are many farmers, there are many small farms which are producing the wheat, right? So here, as the sellers are numerous, same way the buyers are also numerous, so they cannot influence the market price. So here in perfect competition, the market totally depends on the price. Second comes the identical products. Now identical products means the same type of products, or the product with the same features, we can say, is produced. For example, same features like in the form of color, weight, shape, taste, quality, right? So here, as the products are similar in more aspects, so they are referred to as identical products or similar products, and they can easily become a substitute for each other. Third comes free entry and exit of firm. Now from here, as perfect competition is there, so any restriction is not there on entry and exit of the firm. So when the firms, they are gaining abnormal profits, new firms, they are very free to enter the market, and similarly when the firms, they are having loss or they are suffering from abnormal losses, they are free to exit from the market. Now this free entry and exit of the firm, it is seen for a temporary or a short period of time, we can say, right? Because the firms which get attracted from the profit and they enter into the market, and when they start getting losses, so they again exit the market. So for a longer period of time, if the market in the situation of normal profit, there is less movement of firms, means more firms, if normal profit is there, then more new firms will not get attracted towards the market and they will not enter, right? So when the industry reaches a normal profit, there is no attraction to gain higher profit, and in the case of normal profit, the firm don't exit the market as they are not suffering any losses. Next comes the perfect knowledge of the market. Now here, the producers, buyers, sellers, all should have the perfect knowledge of the market regarding the product availability or the product price. Here the producers or the sellers are in knowledge of the price at which the other producers or sellers are selling the product, and they are also aware about the quality or the identical substitute which are there in the market. So therefore, in this type of market, the seller cannot charge different price for the same type of product, because he know if you charge more price, if you want to take, the customers will shift towards the other company because they have the substitute for same type of product. And the buyers, they also know that the price of the product and its quality. So if the seller will demand more price from them, what they will do, they will switch off to the other brand. Next comes mobility of factor of production. Now as you know, 4 factor of production we have, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, right? And they are mobile in physical, professional and usage point of view. Now in perfect competition, what we have the same price for the identical or same products. So same way the price for the factors remain same. So to refrain from shifting of compensation from low to high due to dynamic and mobile nature of the production equipment, what they are doing, the firms are getting uniformly compensated, right? And last come the transportation expenses, that is no transportation expenses. Now as there are numerous buyers and sellers in perfect competition, so the transportation expense or transportation cost is very less, or we can say it is very nominal as compared to the total expense. So it is not counted much. So here we are considering transportation cost as, or transportation expense as 0. So it is making an important characteristic of perfect competition. Now here numerous buyers and sellers are there in perfect competition. Identical product, same type of products is there in term of color, weight, quality, right? What type of competition does it have? It has more competition. Term is monopoly. Monopoly, at the name itself suggests that only a single firm, it controls the market. Now Indian Railways, what is the example of a monopoly, but now they are also issuing their share, they are coming towards a privatization, we can say. Now let us see the definition, that is when the product supply is controlled only by a single enterprise, it is monopoly. Now one more definition by Stigler, that is only one enterprise is the seller of the goods or products, that is only one firm, or we can say only one enterprise is there which is selling this type of goods, so that is called as monopoly. Now here perfect competition and monopoly, they are two opposite words we can say, right? Now this monopoly word, it originated from a Greek word monos. Monos means single. Monos. So monos means single and pollen means seller. So monopoly means the market which have a single seller. Now some characteristics of monopoly: only one producer or seller and numerous buyers. Now here only one producer or seller is there in the market and we have many buyers. So as only one seller is there, he can control the supply of the product, he can control the price in the market, right? He can decide the price for his product. So that's why this type of producer or seller is known as price maker in the market. Why it is known as price maker in the market? Because he has full control over the product supply and price of the market, because he is the only producer in the market of that particular type of product. Absence of substitute goods. Substitute means what? Which we can easily replace with the another. Now here only one type of seller, one seller is there which is providing one type of goods, right? We don't have any other substitute goods. So what can we do? we cannot switch over to other brands easily because we don't have any options. So absence of substitute goods is there. Now here we can take example of Indian Railways, right? Now if while buying a railway ticket from a specific company for a specific time or specific location unavailable, then do we have any substitute to go to that particular place? No. We have the option of going by plane, but the cost or the price may differ. Okay, same type of good substitute we don't have. Then comes the restriction over the entry of new firms. Now there are different forms of monopoly in the market. That is, only one firm is there in the market. Now here we can end the monopoly, but it is a very difficult process because the seller is there from last many years or for a longer duration. He is there in the market alone and he is controlling the market and gaining abnormal profits. The other firms cannot enter in the market because of many reasons. What kind of restrictions it has? If any new firm want to enter, many restrictions it has, like natural law, skill they don't have, experience they don't have, huge money. Many reasons can be there, okay, which restrict the entry of new firms. Then comes control over the price or sales. Now to gain maximum profits, what do the seller do? They control the supply of the products. But the seller, they cannot control both, that is price as well as the sales of the product. To sell less units of product, what does the firm do? They decides or they sets the higher prices. And when the firm wants to sell more units of product, so what do? They set the price as, or low price they set. But to sell large quantity of product with high price, it is not possible. Then comes the supernormal profit. Now, in a monopoly market, producers and sellers are same, right? So that's why the seller, they gain supernormal profit, means above normal profit they gain, and any competition is not there, right? So seller, they can put high prices on the producer as compared to the total expenses which they are incurring for producing the goods. So that's why they get the supernormal profit. Then comes the price discrimination. Now, due to absence of any competition, the seller can set different prices of the same product depending on its use or form, and the seller thus can gain higher profits using the concept of price discrimination. For example, doctor. Now the private doctors are there. They set different prices for themselves. Some are having the 100 rupees fee, some are having 200, some are having 500, right? So that is price discrimination. Then comes firm is industry. Now what do you mean by firm is industry? Now usually a firm is the independent unit of production, while the industry, it is the collection of the firms producing same type of product. Firm means it is a factory or it is a firm which produce the goods, and industry means all the firms which sales or which produce same type of goods. Combining all the firms, it becomes an industry. For example, steel industry, right? Textile, mills. So here the monopoly, the producer and the seller are same. So the collection of firms can also be considered as single firm. Now in monopoly, what is there? Only one firm we have. So that firm can only be regarded as an industry. The best example we are having is of Microsoft. That is only one seller, it dominates the market with no close substitutes. Now here more competition or less competition? So less competition is there, as any other firm is not there to compete in the market. Then comes monopolistic competition. So what do you mean by monopolistic competition? It is neither a perfectly competitive market nor pure monopoly market. It is a mixture of both, we can say. Perfect competition and perfect monopoly coexist in a market which is known as monopolistic market. One more definition by Robinson, that is, if each firm establishes monopoly and also competes at the same time, the market is called imperfect competition. Let us see some characteristics of monopolistic competition. Large number of sellers and numerous buyers. Now here, numerous sellers in perfect competition, but in monopoly what is there? Only one seller is there. But in monopolistic competition there are many sellers. So it means that there are neither numerous sellers nor there is only one seller, but there are many sellers. So due to this monopolistic competition, the factor competition become important. And here the buyers being numerous in the market, they cannot individually influence the market or price of the product. Second comes is product differentiation. Now this is a distinct characteristic of monopolistic competition, that is, here the product is different from another product in terms of or in form of quality and nature. Or we can differentiate it according to the fragrance, taste, shape, weight and quality. A very minor difference, you can say, very little or minor difference is there. Because of that, the product can be called different. Then comes free entry and exit of firm. So free entry and exit of the firm, we can say the free movement of firms means the unrestricted entry and exit of the firms. Now here, if the firms, when they earn supernormal profit, so other firms get attracted towards this market, and when they suffer huge losses, so they are free to exit from the market. And this free entry and exit, it occurs only for a short period of time, because the supernormal profit, it is for a limited or short period of time. After that, when it switch over to normal profit, the entry and exit of the firm decreases and it stops gradually. Because if the firm is earning normal profit, the new firms will not get attracted towards this particular market. And the firms, those who are already in this market and they are earning normal profit, they don't incur loss, so they will not exit from the market. Then comes the selling cost, very important factor. Now here the expenses done for selling the product, it is called as selling cost. So the selling cost, what does it include? It can include the making of the product, packaging, or we can say that to make the product look attractive, sales tax, transportation, and expenditure given to the wholesale and retail market. So showroom expenses, prizes and gifts given for increasing the sales, advertisement cost. So the selling cost does not include the production expenses. Now this type of selling cost, it is not seen in the monopoly market because they don't need to promote their product, right? And this product difference in the market, it gives a particular identity to a product. So there can be a possibility of selling cost. For example, mobile phones, so they have different advertisement, right? Film stars they hire for advertisement, that is all in advertisement cost included in the selling cost. Competition other than price. Now in monopolistic market has competition of price and also competition other than price. So the sellers, what do? They keep the price fixed and try to attract customers by their advertisement, and they compete by modifying the quality of their products. So the sellers try to attract their customers and compete on the basis of other factors and not on the basis of price. Imperfect knowledge regarding the market. Now here the buyers and sellers, they do not have the complete knowledge or regarding the market. They are not aware of the identical and substitute products. So the price of identical or substitute products are either high or low, resulting into the different price of substitute product. Now here the competition is more or less, the competition in monopolistic competition is more. Now take example in monopolistic competition. See, we can take here two brand of mascaras are there, Maybelline and Sisley. The price of Maybelline is $4 and it is $43. Why? On the basis of product differentiation, minor difference is there, and the price difference you can. Now the three different companies jeans is given, same as pure competition except for the product differentiation. They try to prove that their product is different from other company, right? So that is a monopolistic competition. Comes oligopoly. So according to Professor Stigler, oligopoly is the market in which the firm decides its policy according to the behavior of competitors. One more definition we can see, that is, oligopoly is the market in which even a small number of sellers out of the total sellers are enough to affect the price of the product. Now first of all, what do you mean by oligopoly? Now this also originated from the Greek word oligo, it means few, and pollen, it means sellers. So oligopoly, we can say it is a market which is having few producers. So oligopoly includes the market having few producers which sell identical or substitute products, and there is no extreme competition in this type of market. Now characteristics, first one, few sellers are there and numerous buyers are there. Now here the number of sellers and producers, it is less in the market. The number of firm is limited, right? The number of firms, it ranges from more than 2 and it is less than 10 or 20. So that's why you can say a few sellers, they control the market and we have many buyers in the market. So therefore the individual buyers importance is very negligible, we can say, or he or she cannot affect the market. Second comes is similar or substitutable product. Now similar products, we can say that here there is a sale of identical or substitute products in oligopoly. When the firms in a market, they produce and sell identical or substitute products, it is oligopoly. Example, we can say that it products like salt, crude oil, tea. And when traders produce identical products, the market follows imperfect oligopoly like cold drinks, motorcycle, etc. Entry or exit of firms. Now in the market of oligopoly, the entry and exit of firm is free, or it is regulated according to the which type of oligopoly it is followed. If there is free oligopoly in the market, then firms can easily entry and exit. But if the oligopoly is restricted, then the entry and exit of the firm is regulated. Next comes the selling cost. We discussed about the selling cost. What do you mean by selling cost? That is the expenses which are done for selling the product. To sell the product, whatever expenses are done, that is called selling cost. Examples are for packaging, making the product looks attractive, sales tax, transportation, or the expenses or we are giving showroom expenses, or specific any prize or gift we are giving for selling the market, that becomes the advertisement cost. And the selling cost does not include the production expenses. And here, as we know, there is an extreme competition in oligopoly, so the selling cost becomes a very important factor of the market. The sellers, they try to attract the customers by this selling expenses through advertisement and other prizes, gifts, etc. For example, the advertisement we see on television, or of television and car on TV. Then comes interdependence. Now here interdependence, that is the seller and producers, they are very less in numbers. So what happens, the seller and producers, they special focus on the quality and type of the product to attract their customers. For example, television and cars, producers or sellers. So the firm here decides the price, quality or type of the product based on the behavior of the competitors, and it's dependent on them. Then it comes to a very important topic, that is price stickiness or kinked demand curve. Now price stickiness means what? Now here the number of firms is less and they are interdependent on each other. If any one firm decreases the price of the product, then according to the law of demand, due to comparatively cheaper price of the product, there is more demand of the product in the market of that particular firm as compared to other firm, and there is a decrease in the demand of the product sold by other firms, right? So if the competitive firm, they do not wish this situation, then they also decrease the price of the product to stay in the competition, and at the end the price of the product reaches a nominal level and it becomes impossible to reduce the price further. And the second situation can be if the firm increases the price. So if the firm increases the price of the product, then what happens, that the demand of the product decreases and the competitive firms are profited. Thus, as the nominal price is resistant to change, the demand curve becomes kinked. Now let us understand this term in very simple terms. Price stickiness means we can say, now as there are many buyers and sellers, now if one seller, he reduces the price of his product, so what will happen, as the substitute goods are available, so the customers or the buyers will come towards his company for purchasing the products because he has reduced the price. So the buyers and customers of other companies will be less. So what other companies has to do? They also have to reduce their price if they want to stay in competition. Now after reducing the price, there comes a point where beyond that particular point the producer cannot reduce his price. If he'll reduce the price, then he'll start incurring losses. So that particular point of time, the reduction of price is not possible. So we can say the nominal price, it is resistant to change, beyond which we cannot change. So thereby the demand curve becomes kinked, we can say. Okay. Now oligopoly, that is few producers are there, they control supply and price. Now here extreme level it's not there, medium competition is there. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, so they only produce different types of goods.